Job market is so bad that people aren't even going back to full-time work anymore. I was scrolling on LinkedIn earlier, just kind of catching up on things, and I'm seeing a lot of people talking about how they're just choosing to freelance or contract work, not even creatively, like cleaning houses, like making websites, Uber Eats, anything considered contract work.
Well, creating websites is a creative job. I mean, it's not like a simple job that anyone can pick up and do, like cleaning houses and whatnot. But I am kind of in favor of people working contract work, just not working to the man, basically, not being in corporate America where employees are just used and abused. Basically, they can fire you like that, not even a 2 weeks notice, and then boom, before you know it, you're struggling. In addition, you build up skills, you build up leadership and entrepreneurship skills because you're forced to do it when you're working for yourself. You have no one to report to but yourself, and your earning potential can go as high as you make it. Really, it can be. How much are you willing to hustle for it?
They're actually making more money doing multiple part-time jobs than picking one full-time job and like getting underpaid and overworked. I never thought I would see that in our society, where people are just so over it. Obviously, there are people getting hired, but like there's also a lot of people that are been searching for like 6 months to a year and they just don't want to deal with it anymore.
Finding a job always takes forever, and it's frustrating. I hate it too. I mean, I have a job now and I do other things on the side for additional income, hoping one day my other side stuff becomes something greater that I can leave my full-time job, but I'm not there yet. And also, I really like my full-time job, so there's that struggle. However, not everyone's that lucky. Not everyone's in that position. I understand. But I hope you work towards that position. You're 9 to 5. I hope you have a 5 to 9, something you're doing outside of work. Not wasting time watching TV and video games, but trying to build something great, something that you can just work for yourself, work hard for yourself, not work hard for other people. Because I understand it's frustrating where your paycheck is very stagnant. Oh, you get a 1% raise next year. Inflation's still kicking your butt.
Endless interviews. It's the endless rejection. I mean, it gets really tiring after a while. If you don't have a job.
It's like dating for men. This is what dating's like, women. The multiple interviews and multiple rejections over a span of months, maybe years. This is what it's like for men dating. Just constantly going on dates and then not hearing back anymore, or constantly getting rejected on dating apps. But I digress. This video is not about that.
Got laid off or you're unemployed right now. Are you like pounding out job interviews? Are you trying to get part-time jobs, or are you starting your own business? The world is so different now.
Yeah, I can understand the job market sucks. I'm not in it right now, but I can only imagine how terrible it is right now. About going through, finding the right job, competing with hundreds of applicants, lots of ghost interviews, lots of ghost job applications out there, lots of ghost this and that, and it's ridiculous and it's frustrating as hell. Like, dude, who's serious out there about posting a job and trying to recruit someone? Because a lot of people who are trying to find a job are really serious about getting a job right now. All right, let's see what comments have to say. Let's scroll down here. Let me increase this so people can see. A friend of mine with a PhD is cleaning houses. She just puts her headphones and does chores because it's more fulfilling than a toxic academic job market. Okay, that PhD, what is it in? I question that first. If you're making more money cleaning houses and you have a PhD, what is that PhD in? Because there's some that don't make a lot of money. You just went to school, had fun, and did the easiest path possible to get that PhD, and it's not paying well. I wonder what that is, so everyone can learn. The pay isn't worth the stress. I don't care anymore. There's a lot of jobs that don't pay very well for the skills and the labor demanding, but a lot of it's not their fault because everything else around them and you got more expensive. And now when you have less money to put in savings, less money to afford things, the job, it doesn't feel fulfilling anymore because your income's no longer fulfilling. So you could have a great, fun job, a job you love, but it doesn't pay well. And that's frustrating and sad at the same time. Freelance jobs give you more freedom. It's true. But here's something if you're considering freelancing, contract work, starting your own business, anything like that. It's going to take a long time to build something, build the clientele, whatever you need to do to really get something that brings in good revenue to pay your bills. I'm talking years, not months. This isn't something that goes overnight. There's plenty of people who can tell you, entrepreneurs, that they did not build their business overnight. It took a long time, and a lot of that on that road is learning. You will make mistakes. You will take chances and they will fail. However, those failures are your learning opportunities to not do it again, but to learn how to do better. What's the next best course of action? How do I execute better? Failure should not mean you should give up. It means you need to learn and do better and get back at it again. Entry level isn't even entry level anymore. That is so true. I remember when I was applying for certain entry level jobs years ago, they still wanted all of this experience. Like, dude, what the hell does entry level mean? Can I just get in and start learning right away? I can't handle the 4 to 5 interviews, wasting everyone's time and only creating job security for HR and hiring managers. We're done. I've been there. I remember going through potential employer, thank God I did not get hired by them, that required you to go through a series of interviews. Like 4, 5, 6 interviews. If you're in a position where there's a job you applied for, and they're requiring more than 3 interviews, they're probably not that good of a company. I'm sorry, but they're not. I think people are just trying to find importance in their current role to keep their jobs when they needed to be cut right away. But honestly, I can only think that you only need 2 interview processes. Really. Like the first one should be with the hiring manager, the person who's going to be on your team is hiring all these people thinking that they're great. And then the next one should go to HR for the final one to make sure that they have the appropriate characteristics, the attitude, everything else, that they fit in the culture of the company, they run their background, and all this other stuff. But really, you don't need a third one. You should have figured it out by then, after the second interview. I'd rather have 2 part-time jobs that don't require much from me. Well, guess what? You probably won't get paid much then. I do have some issue when a lot of people are saying they are burnt out, this and that. I get it. Depends what the hard work is. Is it worth the juice? However, some people have attitudes where I just don't want to work hard, but you want to get paid premium. Let me just put this in simple terms. Say you're at a restaurant and the one server barely gives you attention. How does that make you feel? You probably won't tip them. Maybe low tip, whatever. Won't make you feel good. However, there's a second server who's willing to give you all the attention, changing your cups, refilling your drinks, bringing your food on time, asking you lots of questions if you need anything, coming back, checking up on you. You would probably give them more pay because they're a hard worker. They're willing to go after it. However, if you're not willing to go after it, why should someone pay you well? Why? I clean Airbnbs, watch dogs, teach yoga. I created life I love. Hey, that's great. If you made it yourself. It requires some hustling. You have to know some things, right? But, it sounds like very gig economy-like, where you just control the hours you want to work. You could do part-time, or you could work 60 plus hours a week and just be hustling and making money. It's up to you how much money you want to make. It really is. So something like that I like to see. So good job on that. My dad is an engineer. He made more than enough money to live a comfortable and extravagant life. Here I am, an engineer, struggling to pay rent. Well, first I want to know what type of engineer. Is your dad and yourself the same type of engineer? Your dad probably built up experience, worked his way up, but nevertheless decided with this person, yeah, I get it, things got more expensive. I do know doctors in the residencies and doctors who are just working up in their career are now struggling themselves. Medical doctors, rather. Anyone with a PhD can be called doctors. So I mean medical doctors. Your surgeons, your physicians. I know some that are struggling. They're like, what is going on? This is crazy. I'm tired of job guilt tripping me into going above and beyond for nothing in return. I used to be such a high achiever, and now I just do the bare minimum. I understand the carrot sticking. Some employers do this where they just carrot stick by them, like, there's a promotion up ahead, just keep working hard, and it never comes to fruition. This is why people jump from job to job on average every 2 years for better pay. They get the skills, and their current employer is not appreciating them enough. The next employer will pay more. Not to bring back relationships, but same with employers. They do have their red flags that you need to identify to see if they're going to care stick you or not. They will get the most out of you for sure. It's just a matter of identifying if you are getting the most out of them, as in pay-wise. Otherwise, it's time to find a new employer. But also know it's hard to find a new employer, new job, everything else. It's one of those moments in life where you have to like really sit down and strategize and think, how do I make the next step upward? How do I make the next step in progress? How do I make more money? What do I have to do? Do I need to pick up another skill? Do I need to find a new employer? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to have a side hustle? Have that side hustle become something. The skills you develop with your current employer, can you do that on your own as a contractor? That's it for this video. That's enough comments. Feel free to comment below, hit the like button, and if you made it this far in the video, I would appreciate a subscribe. And until next time, bye.